Hi there, my name is Richard Robinson. Now, a lot of people ask me what it is that I paint on. Is it paper? Is it canvas board? So I just wanted to give you a little tutorial on that today, tell you what it is and how I do it. And you might like to paint like this, you might not. I find it's really good to paint on canvas like this because I sell a lot of my work overseas, and that means that when it's dry I can just roll it up and pop it into a cardboard tube, send it overseas. The gallery will frame it up for me and sell it like that, or if I sell it privately, then I just send it to people like that, and they can get it framed up to how they want it. Another thing I really love about this is that once you pull the tape off when you finish your painting, it's like it gives it this beautiful white crisp edge, and it's always a very exciting part of the painting when you pull the tape off. It's probably one of my favorite parts. Now, the board that I'm using is a medium density fiber board. It's 3mm thick. And I just give that a coat of acrylic varnish so that you don't get stuff soaking into the board, because this stuff can swell up at the edges if it soaks in water. You'll be using it in the field, laying it down in grass, that sort of thing. And if it rains, you don't want this to get ruined. Just a thin coat of acrylic varnish seals that, protects it for working on. So the tape that I'm using is a 3M Automotive Masking Tape. And I've tried a lot of different tapes, but this one is really good because it sticks really well and it's quite sturdy, very stretchy. You find a lot of the cheaper tapes, they won't stick, and you can't get enough pressure on them to really stretch this canvas out. So this is a good one. There's a plug for 3M. Thanks 3M. Now, so what I do is try and line this up square on the canvas. If you were really clever, you would draw some grid marks on this board so that you could line up this canvas without using your micrometer. But anyway, you get the center of the canvas, a little bit of tape, and you really rub that on really firmly. The reason being, there is going to be a lot of stress that goes on that tape, so you don't want it to come off. Okay. Next thing is, same size piece of tape, stick that in the middle. Make sure the canvas is nice and square to the top, is parallel. Pull it so it's nice and tight, so there's a little bump right through the middle of the canvas there. And then put it down, really rub that out. So we've got this ridge of canvas down the middle here. It's a little hump. Now, do the same to the other side. Don't pull that one out very much. You rely more on this one to do that tensioning. So when I pull that out straight, now I want this tension to cancel out that tension in the middle, so it's nice and flat here. So it's a lot like stapling a canvas, very much the same process. Now I move on to the corners, and if this was a larger canvas, I would also put tape there. And any tape that I put on is aiming right to the middle of the canvas. That's very important, otherwise you will end up with lumps in the canvas. So it's a smallish canvas. This is only sort of 16 inches square, so I can just do the corners and not worry about those middle bits there. Okay, really pulling that out tight. There we go. Now if we have a good look at that, that's a really smooth surface now, really stretched out. The canvas that I use is Fredrix Ultrasmooth, and I buy that on a roll and then cut it to the size that I want. So once that's all stretched out, then you can tape down the sides. Nice thing about this tape is that it's see-through, so you can see exactly where the canvas is underneath. So I just put it on half and half. So this tape is to really securely hold down that stretched canvas. It will not slip. Okay. That's not the finished frame though. What we're going to do is put on another layer of tape, but first of all I need to take these little bits off here. The way I do that is to put my thumb right on that edge of the tape there and just pull it off. And that's enough because another piece of tape is going to go right over the top of that. Corners are a little bit trickier. Okay, so with all those little bits of tape off, now I can put on the rest of the tape, which is going to be the inner frame. Normally, I try and allow enough canvas so that if I want to, I could stretch this onto stretcher bars. Now that is ready to paint on. Neat thing about this tape is that when you're out in the field, you can change the shape of this canvas if you need to. If you feel like more of a vertical format, I can just pull this tape off and put it over here. And if I want a more horizontal, more landscape format, I can just bring these tapes down like that and paint in that middle section. So it's very versatile, and again at the end of the painting you get to pull this tape off, which instantly frames it, and that's a very exciting moment in the painting. That for me is probably the best part of the whole painting experience. Another handy trick to know is that if you're trying to make this square, well not square but the corners be 90 degrees, then if you measure across the corners like this and they're the same, then you know that these corners are 90 degrees. Okay, that's ready to paint on. Now one of the really good things about painting on a board is that when it's on the easel, when you're painting outside, it stops the light from glaring into your eyes from behind the easel, which lets you see the colours in your painting a lot easier, which is obviously pretty important. So, with that said, looks like it's time to do a painting. So thanks for watching, hope that's helped a little bit, and happy painting.